Alright guys, what is up? This is a video that I've wanted to do for a little while. I'm a little bit worried about it, to be quite honest with you, because I'm going to be reviewing other people's channels, or other people's videos I should say. I also feel like I'm talking really loud with these headphones on, so I'm going to take them off for a second. Viewer discretion, warning, blinking lights, flashing. I am showing videos of people drawing blood. One's starting a IV. The other one is doing phlebotomy. We're going to go ahead and review both of them. These are my absolute favorite nursing tasks. In my opinion, they're my favorite. For whatever reason, this is my favorite thing to do. We're going to go ahead and review them, and I'm going to give my opinions, of course, here and there. So if you cannot handle blood, if it's something that you cannot handle, you should not watch this video. So don't join in this live stream. We are going to be looking at blood. So viewer discretion is advised. Blinking lights, flashing lights, is what we're doing. I have also linked both channels in the description. I'm worried. The reason why I haven't done a video like this is because I am worried about a YouTube strike. I am worried about things like that. I like having my channel, and I don't want to get it deleted. I'm going to do my best to be respectful of these two channels and give them the respect that they need and deserve, because both of these are very good videos. And so we're going to go ahead and take a look at both of them and see you know, what we like, what we don't like. For the most part, I really like what both of these channels have to offer. Both of these do very good sticks. I am for everything that both of these videos have. So I don't have much time. The girls are out of school right now, so that sort of hinders me a little bit. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, please let me know throughout the video in the chat, and I will do my very best to answer them. Of course, I'm going to give my interpretation. So let's go ahead, and first video we will be watching will be from, I'm going to probably pronounce this incorrectly, the Kalia C channel. The Kalia C channel. She has a video called How to Draw Blood by a Phlebotomist Instructor. How to draw blood from a phlebotomist instructor. She does a very good job at this. She does phenomenal at this. I'm gonna go ahead and preface each video. I'm gonna go ahead and say this one time. I'll probably forget throughout the video. I'll probably forget to stop it or whatever. You always want to know your 5 rights. Even though we're not really doing medication, you probably will be doing medication with the IV. Go ahead and do your 5 rights: patient, route, med, time, things like that. Make sure you have an order for this. Once you have an order for this, you're good to go. But a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous about this, a little anxious about this, only because these are other people's channels, and I want to give them sort of the respect that they need, that they deserve. So you know, I'm hoping to do well on this. Hoping. You know, we'll see. You know how I do. You know, may or may not go well. But let's go ahead, and we are going to make the Kalia C full screen. Oops. How to draw blood from how to draw blood by a phlebotomy instructor. And I am having apparent issues. Let's go ahead and get started. This is evidently during COVID.
Hi, my name's Kayla. I'm here to draw your blood today. And then you're going to put it in the hospital band, scan it. Then you're going to check their information.
That's the 5 rights.
Whether you're in outpatient, inpatient, you're checking their first, last name, and their date of birth. Always, okay? To confirm that,
Always, yes.
go ahead and go get some hand sanitizer. Sanitize your hands. But if you find
So I will go ahead and disagree right there. First disagreement that I have is she said go ahead and grab some hand sanitizer. Also, I have a feeling I'm going to have issues with my in and out screen because I changed the time, so I'm going to have to reset that. In any case, I have issues with the hand sanitizer. I don't like hand sanitizer. I just don't. I think that they. I would rather you wash your hands. I just would. I would rather everyone wash their hands. Always, and go from there. But let's go ahead and let's see what she's got going on here. I'm hoping the time goes back where it should. So here we go. Of course, you're going to glove up after you wash your hands.
Mine are already set up here, so make sure you have everything within your arm's reach of your hand that you're not going to be doing the blood drawing with. And then
always do that. Always have your supplies close and open. I don't think she said open.
We're going to go ahead and check for veins. So we're going to go into this side. And you always want to try and check both arms just to double verify where you're going. But like you.
Alright, so did you see how she did her tourniquet? How it folded over and then she tied it with the bow part sort of underneath it. That is textbook. That is exactly how you want to do it. And she doesn't really explain why. Probably because her students, are fully aware of why you do it that way. But when you leave the little bow on the bottom like that, you have 2 straps hanging out of the top. And be sure you get the right one. I always make them really short. The bow side, I make it really short. And you pull it, and the tourniquet will just pop off. If you simply go around and sort of do like a regular pull knot, you're gonna have a very hard time getting that off of there because those things are latex or rubber material. I don't think they really use latex anymore, but they're a rubber type material. And when they're a rubber type material like that, they stick, and so you're battling those things. That's already tight on their arm, and you're battling that thing and trying to pull it off and whatnot, and it's just not working. It just never ever works when you do it like that. Let's take another look at her.
Like you can do both arms just to double verify where you're going. But if you find a good vein in the first arm, it's totally fine to go with that first one. But sometimes you can check. But she's already had just stuck on this side, so I'm not going to.
That poor girl done been stuck once.
This side is going to be the side we go into. So right here is a really nice vein. It goes straight up.
I can actually see that on the camera or on the computer screen.
A little tiny bit, but this
It looks
is
good.
where you would want to go. So go ahead and feel right there.
Oh yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, you feel how it kind of has that water balloon kind of feel.
Yes, absolutely. So she said they have a water balloon kind of feel. They do. They have a water balloon kind of feel. They absolutely have a water balloon kind of feel. They just, I don't know why, they just do. And when you get it in there, you can actually feel it pop. A lot of times, which is honestly weirdly my favorite part. As strange as that is, you can feel them like a water balloon. As strange as that is. Let's get back to where we're going. There we go.
That's a little bit. Kind of goes that way a little tiny tiny bit, but this is where you would want to go. So go ahead and feel right there.
She's got her tourniquet on her. She's got her tight. Arm is straight. That is important.
That's exactly what you're looking for. It's something that's squishy. And
I mean, you can see it. I can see it from here. That thing looks good. I'm going to disagree. I leave my tourniquet on the whole time.
Concentric motions. So starting from the center, working your way out. And that helps the bacteria start from in the middle, and then you're going to work your way
Cleanest to dirtiest.
You let that air dry. And then as you're letting that air dry, you're prepping everything. So making sure this is screwed on really nice. You have everything within arm's reach. Let me grab another tube so we can...
Grab another tube, because this poor girl hasn't had enough blood taken out of her yet.
And then...
Now, all right, so let's go ahead and stop right here, and I'm not gonna zoom out. Right here, you see how she's got all of this this paper, this barrier pad here, and the tape is right there. What I do, and I've seen plenty of people do right here, this tape, I have strips, probably 3 or 4 strips already out, because you never know. If somebody's a gushing bleeder, you would like to have that, you know, those strips out already, or if you're going to get a surprise of some sort, you always want to go ahead and have those strips out. So I like to leave them on the side of the table. That's probably not how they teach it anymore, because of COVID and germs and things like that. But I always like to have the 3 strips on the side of the table. Also, she went cleanest to dirtiest and sort of did the circular motion. Bro, that joker's getting let's go, because I'm in a hurry. Them things, you know, it doesn't, you know, we don't do it that quick or that slowly. You gotta keep in mind she's in a professional setting. Also, she has on my favorite scrubs, Wonder Wink. Those are my favorite scrubs.
Retie that tourniquet.
All right, so I would have left it.
And we're never gonna double touch, okay? So even if, don't ever double touch, even if you clean your finger or anything like that. Once it's clean, it's clean. If you touched it, you need to
Oh, I see what she's saying. You never re-clean the surface. Don't feel with your finger. A lot of people do that. Like, once they clean it, they'll start feeling with their finger again. No, I'm not.
Above, so it keeps everything out of the way. Then,
so you guys just saw all of my history. In any case, what you don't want to do is have the bevel down. So the bevel is, so the pointy part of the needle, and it sort of, it's like an angle right there at the end of it. You want that bevel, that very sharpest point, the bevel, to be the angle down, closest to, you know, the skin. And you want to look for defects. So if a needle is, you know, straight, it's going to be straight, you know, at any angle. If it's crooked at all, it's going to be, you know, you're going to see sort of a crook, or you're going to see a bend. Sometimes what can happen, especially on needles that have like a strange cap, I haven't seen them in a long time. The bevel can actually be like smashed in, like the very end of the needle itself can be like blunt, if that makes sense. You know, sort of strange. But let's go ahead and pull her back up, and let's try to, you know, keep our to a minimum. Play. There we go.
we're checking our needle, making
Check
sure
the needle.
there's no defects, no fluffs or anything on it. Make sure their arm is in a position where you feel comfortable. So downward is always better because you'll get a better blood flow.
That's the way the heart goes.
You want to anchor
It's not the way the heart
vein.
goes, but here she goes.
And the reason why you anchor that vein is so that it's nice and tight and you don't have any pushback when you go in.
So what she's saying is when you anchor a vein, so I have a good one there, you pull it, she's sort of pulling behind it and pulling the skin taut, so that the skin itself doesn't move, because skin, you know, does move. And so she's holding it underneath that girl's elbow, so that skin doesn't move and it just goes right in. But depending on where the vein is, I like the way she did it. Under the elbow, that's a good spot. That's not very uncomfortable for either party. Sometimes, you know, if it's, I like the forearm a lot, and you got to really pull that one taut, or you can go like that. But the angle she's got is very comfortable for each party. What's uncomfortable is this right here, this stick. Boom.
See how I went in about a fourth of the way?
So what a lot of people do, and she did not do, see how much of that needle is hanging out, how much of that needle is actually out of the arm. It's not all the way in. A lot of people will go all the way in and start fishing. This instructor here did not fish. She knows exactly what she's doing. Very good at her job. She did not fish at all. Went straight into the vein, and as soon as she got the flashback, let's see if we can even see the flashback, she stuck that tube on there. So let me back it up just the tiniest little bit. Watch the flashback. You're going to see the tiniest little bit of flashback right there.
In, push.
Nope.
See how I went in about a fourth of the way?
And then, no, I didn't see the flashback. Maybe it's just me.
We're going to use this for the centrifuge.
You can definitely see it in the tube now. Two-handed job. Do not use one hand.
And you'll tell when it stops because it literally, you won't see anything moving in it anymore.
And so what she's saying there, these tubes are pressurized. I think it's osmotic pressure. There's a suction to them. When you look at the caps of them, there's a cap. The plunger is actually down. You know, sort of like something sucking on it, like, you know, when you suck on your cheeks like that. That's how the end of those, I keep wanting to point like you can see exactly what I'm pointing at. That's how the end of those tubes are. They're pulled in. There's a lot of suction to them. Many of them also have, this one does, have like a little sort of barrier in them. So when you spin them, they spin in certain ways. You can pull the plasma out or the red blood cells out or whatever it may be, and that's all determined by the cap color. That one's orange, that one's tiger stripe, it looks like, and so those are determined as to what has what solution in it. So some are spun, some are not spun. It all depends on your orders. So let's go ahead and play some more.
You'll grab it with your middle finger and your thumb, and you'll push back on the hub with your pointer finger.
Yes.
And then when you push in with the
Boom.
second needle, you'll push in with your thumb and grab the hub with your middle and your pointer finger.
Be careful. And she is very good at this and probably is doing this without thinking about it. She's got a very good grip right here. And she's not moving at all. You've already got this vein. You've got the blood flowing right now currently. And she's got a very good grasp on that. She's holding it, and she's sort of anchoring her hand down on that other girl's arm. Be sure you don't move that. You can definitely lose the vein by moving that very easily.
Yeah, like this. You'll push in like with your
And you'll feel like a click.
fill that all the way up because we don't necessarily need that. Then
All right, now when she says fill it all the way up, what she means is, if you see, I think that's it right there. There's a line. There's going to be a definite line on your tubes. And these lines are where the blood has to go so that the provider or the lab or whoever it is has enough in the tube to get the test that they need. Some are fairly large, some are fairly small. I think the smallest I've ever seen is like 3 cc's. So this, maybe that big, not very big. Those are 5 to 7s, pretty standard. But that looks like the line. And what happens is, the suction in the tube will pull it to that point, and then it'll just stop, and it won't go anymore. There's no more suction. So let's watch how she takes this out.
tube tourniquet. Then you
Yes.
Then you press. Ask them to hold.
Boom. All right, so personal preference, this is just me. Let me back this up just a tiniest little bit. Watch how she does this, and I don't do it this way. So what I do, tourniquet off, the cotton swab 2x2, 4x4, whatever it is you're putting down right there. Cotton swab. You don't use cotton swabs anymore. Go ahead and put that on there. Pull it out, and then I go ahead and have the patient put their hand on it before I mess with the needle. So I have the needle, I pull the needle out. The patient will have their hand on there. And then I will two-handedly mess with the needle to avoid sticks, which, you know, she's probably used to doing it one-handed, so she avoids sticks. You know, however it is you have to do it. But watch how she does this, and she's actually going to close it right here on the end of the chair, which I disagree with. I would rather use my thumb or my finger and, you know, push it forward myself. Personal preference, though, personal preference. So watch this. So I would have had the patient do it and then mess with the needle, and she did it on the chair like that. It's acceptable. It's probably the way that she does it, and immediately throw your sharps away.
Too far away, you want to make sure you activate your safety, throw that away, invert your tubes.
I also, probably personal preference, like to look at the gauze, look at the 2x2. If it's covering with blood, if it's, you know, whatever, if, you know, I missed completely and the patient's, you know, covering up here and I stuck down here, hand over your head, let's go ahead and get this to stop. But very good stick.
And I always say just invert them about 10 times.
And there's that solution right there in that tiger stripe. Let me get back. Oh, I think I missed it. So the tiger stripe right here has the solution in it. The red top does not. So I'm not sure what these orders are, but the tiger stripe is getting spun and the red one is not getting spun, because that solution is going to separate something in the blood. You'll notice it when she shakes it. I like to turn it over, shake it, probably about 7 to 10 times or so. She probably does about that many. I'm not paying attention, but you see that solution real good right there.
About 10 times because it just covers all the aspects.
Yeah, she just said do it 10 times.
Whether you have like one that needs less or more, it's better just to do the amount that needs more. Okay. Then as you are having them sit there, you're always going to be filling out your tubes or whatever needs to be done. So obviously there's going to be either labels that are pre-labeled with their name.
I have to write my own labels. Yes, I understand exactly what she's talking about.
Manually, so you're going to fill their first, last
This
name,
girl's just sitting there bleeding.
your initial, the military time, and then if you have a
All of that is policy.
wherever you're working, you'll go ahead and put that on there as well. Fill both
Whatever
of those
policy
out.
it is that you're at,
Usually by that time,
your
you've sat
location.
there for about 2 to 3 minutes. Then it'll say, I need to check. She is a pretty quick.
She clotted quickly, yes.
Go ahead and hold that for me again.
See, now she has to take both hands off and get this tape off, and sometimes that tape does not want to come off like that. It came off very well for her. Very good stick. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. She did a phenomenal job.
And that's it.
Great job by her. You know, just good sticks all around. Really, that was phenomenal. Just some personal preference things that I disagree with. But was she safe? Yes. Was she efficient? Yes. Did she get all of her steps? Absolutely. She did a phenomenal job. Definitely check that video out again if phlebotomy ever comes up in your classes or whatever, or if you need tips or tricks on how to draw. One thing she did not mention, and I'm not going to harp on, some facilities require certain gauges, for whatever reason, to be quite honest with you. I don't know why they require certain gauges. And then some facilities have very tiny gauges. And so you got to be mindful of that. A lot of times you got to get what you get and you don't pitch a fit. But great sticks by, let me double check on my title of my channel here. The Kayla C channel. She did a very good job of sticking that person. I enjoyed that. That was a good video for me to watch while I was sort of researching this video. Like I said, I was anxious about this one because I was worried, you know, about YouTube strikes and things like that. So glad to see, you know, we'll see how it comes up. If these channels want me to take this video down, I absolutely will. Hopefully they enjoy what I got to say. The next video that we're going to take a look at is an IV. I really like this channel. This channel was around when I was in nursing school. I really liked it, and they helped me through nursing school. The Registered Nurse RN. I used to watch them when I was in nursing school. They've been around for a long time. They do good work. Like I said, I've watched them since I was in nursing school. So, and that was, my oldest is 10 now, so that was 10 years ago. A good bit ago. But let's take a look at them starting an IV and see what they got going on here with this IV. Let me get all my pieces and parts where I need them to be, because I am definitely on the struggle bus. All right. Here we go. And
remove that. Hey
I messed
everyone,
up.
it's Sarah with RegisteredNurseRN.com, and in this video I'm going to demonstrate how to start a peripheral IV. Before performing any nursing skills, you want to make sure that you're following your hospital's protocols.
Always follow
to ensure
protocols.
you're
Protocols,
following the
protocols,
latest
protocols.
guidelines.
Always.
Before inserting the IV, first what you want to do is you want to gather your supplies and perform hand hygiene.
Completely
Then
agree.
after that, you want to prepare your supplies and find a vein that you want to use on your patient to actually insert the IV.
So when she says prepare your supplies, that's when you get your tape out. That's when you go ahead and get your tape ready to go, if you're allowed to in your policy.
In. Once you have done that, you'll perform hand hygiene, don gloves, and then prepare for insertion. So here we have actually trimmed the patient's hair.
Going in the
and
hand.
Sometimes you have to do this because what will happen is whenever you go to secure it, the tape will not stick to the patient.
True,
It'll
or the
roll off.
Tegaderm.
Whenever you go to remove the IV, it'll be very painful to that person who has a lot of hair. So we have used trimmers that have just trimmed it. You don't ever want to use like a straight razor, so use whatever trimming.
You never use a straight razor, because a straight razor can cause little tiny cuts in the skin that can then cause infection. So you never use a straight razor. They have like, what do they call, like cut safe razors or whatever it is. They're not very good, but we used to keep ours on the code cart. We kept ours on the code cart for hairy men who coded. So we could just, you know, and do that very quickly. Just in case, you know, just in case. Oh, shoot. Duh.
It'll roll off over time, and then plus whenever you go to remove the IV, it'll be very painful to that person who has a lot of hair.
Yes.
So we have used trimmers that have just trimmed it. You don't ever want to use like a straight razor, so use whatever trimming supplies that your facility has. So now I'm ready to insert the IV, and I've applied
I like
the
this.
tourniquet.
Put the tourniquet on
so the
first.
vein that we're going to go in is in the hand. We're going to go right there. So before we even stick the vein, we first have
I avoid the hand at all costs. It hurts for one, and two, it's a bendy place. A lot of people prefer to start in the hand because you can work your way up. So you go hand, forearm, further up forearm, AC. I don't like the hand. It hurts. It's a bendy place. I like non-bendy places. My favorite is actually like right along in here, which is, you know, you can sort of turn and it's awkward, but I prefer not to go to the hand, but I know that a lot of people love the hand and they go there first.
The site. And we're going to use the kits, ChloraPrep.
ChloraPrep.
And depending on what type of kit you have will depend on what it looks like. So
That is
with
a
this particular
disaster.
one, we're going to
I
take
hate
this
those
and
things.
just push it together, and you'll hear that cracking noise. That's just releasing all the ChloraPrep.
They do actually
What
sound
I'm
like
going to
that.
do is I'm going to start in the center, and I'm
I
going
can
to work
smell
my way
this
outward,
video.
and we're going to clean the site for about 30 seconds. And then we're going to let it completely dry. So
Oh, please don't show 30 seconds of cleaning.
cleaning. We're going to clean for 30 seconds.
Oh no, she's cleaning for 30 seconds. I must have fast forwarded through this when I watched it the first time.
Now the site has completely dried, so I'm ready to stick the
All right,
vein.
so right here, oh, you have a very good picture of the IV right here. And so what you got going on here is this. You can see like right there, that is the actual needle itself. The IV is this sort of sheathing around it, and it's around the needle. The needle's in the middle, and that's what's actually going to do the sticking, and then the IV is going to sort of stay there and pull the needle out, and you're going to see blood just come out of there, unless it's already hep locked. I'm not sure. I can't remember if it's hep locked or not. But that's the actual catheter part, is right there. That you can really see it right at the end there, but that needle goes all the way through there. Anyways, let's watch this.
So what I'm going to do first is I want to stabilize this vein. I don't want it to roll away on me. So I'm going to go below the area where I cleaned, and I'm just going to pull on the skin, which will help stabilize the vein. Then I'm going to hold my IV. I'm holding it with my thumb and index finger.
All right, right here. Wait. All right. Whew. Okay. This is how this one works. And I always feel like James Bond with these. It may just be me. This is a button. That's a button right there. And when she's going to click that, it's actually going to pull the needle right through there. Because you can see it. It's right there. She's going to click that button. It's going to pull it right through. And the catheter, the sheathing catheter, is going to stay in that person's hand. I always love these for some reason. Like I said, I feel like James Bond when I use those.
And I'm going to hold it bevel up.
Yes.
And I'm going to go in
and we just talked
give
about
or
the bevel.
take about a 20-degree angle. And I'm going in the way that the vein is naturally made, because we just want this plastic cannula.
So what she's saying is, and I worked with a nurse who disagreed with this for whatever reason. What they would do is they would start out like right over here and then go this way and then sort of attack the vein that way. You want to go directly on top is what she's saying. And that's how I do it. I'm pretty sure that, most people do it that way, but I've worked with nurses who like to go this way and then sort of like come in, at like an angle. Like, I don't know who is taught that or what, but I don't like that.
Okay, so here we go.
And you don't want to use.
Going to feel a sharp.
You don't want to use this guy here because he's got a turn. You don't want to use this guy here because he's, not straight at all. Also, if you look, there's little valves. There's valves in your veins. Believe it or not, there's a good one there, and that's another good one that sort of keep it from coming backwards. Things like that. You got to watch for that too. Watch for those valves. Here we go.
Okay.
Boop. Oh, there it goes. Did you see that pop?
Blood return. And you can see that in the chamber right there.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Good
remember,
stick.
I want to go just
Phenomenal
a
stick.
hair bit
that
more.
rolled just a little bit.
There. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to thread.
Get it all the way in there. I like
there.
it.
So now after that, I want to pop the tourniquet. And I wanted to take my
I do not pop the tourniquet first. Leave the tourniquet on forever. It seems like that's like the last thing I do. Me personally, I leave the tourniquet on for a long time. So I will tell you when I would have taken the tourniquet off. But right now I would have still been tourniquet on.
Finger, and I want to apply firm pressure because I don't want it to leak out.
No, you don't.
Then I'm going to hit this safety button. And it's going to remove the needle, and then I'm going to connect the access device.
Watch this. Boom. Let's watch this one more time because I feel like James Bond when I see it. Here we go. That button I pointed out earlier, she's going to click it, and it's going to pull that needle back into the, that's not even a hep lock, is it? That's just a safety
button. And it's going to remove the needle, and then I'm going to connect the access device.
Boom. Now, for some reason, and she must really have firm pressure right here on this site, he's not leaking out. I cannot tell you how many times that I have done this or I have seen people do this and they just bleed just everywhere. I like to go ahead and have something under this just in case, because you never know with these. But let's see what we got going on. There's the hip lock.
And then twist this on. And make sure that is nice and secure when you do this because you don't want it to get loose. So first I'm going to check for blood return.
So one thing you don't want to do is push air into the system. So I'm almost certain she's going to go over this, or anyways, you never want to hook this up and push immediately, because all of this has the potential to have air in it. You do not ever want to push air into someone. Never push air into someone. 9 times out of 10 they're going to be okay, but that 10th time out of 10 they're not going to be okay. Never push air into someone. So you want to check for return. She's about to do this and pull back. This is probably a 10 cc syringe right here. I can't see it well enough to tell, but that's exactly what it looks like. It looks like normal saline. Not a big deal. That's a lock right there. That white thing right there, that's a lock. And then it's going to keep the blood from pouring out like crazy.
And
so she pulled first. Did you see her pull?
I'm going to flush the IV. And I'm going to flush using a push-pause flush. I'm going to flush in about 3 to 5 cc. So I'm going to do 1 to 2 cc's, pause, flush again, 1 to 2.
There's no time frame.
And I'm looking at the site. It's not bubbling up.
Yes, you want to keep it on the site. Yes,
and how does the site feel to you?
Feels fine.
It's probably going to be cold. There's going to be a bubble. There will be a bubble right there if there is an infiltration of some sort. There will be a bubble.
Because we're using a neutral displacement cap, there's no sequence required, so I'm just going to clamp it.
That's the lock
off.
that I was talking about just a second ago.
To undo this.
All right.
But
All right. Stop. I am terrified of these things leaking. So here's where I would have changed a little bit, and they don't do this very much anymore. We used to use the butterfly method. You would take your tape, and it would look like this, and it would be sticky on this side, sticky on this side, and then sticky here. So what you would do is you would like pull it down and turn it, and so it's underneath. So one side down, turn it over, back side over, and then turn it over the front side. So the fronts are sticky on the hand, and the back is sticky on the hep lock. So before I'm disconnecting anything, and while everything's sort of still sitting here, I am going to go ahead and tape up. My tourniquet is actually still on, probably. I may or may not have taken it off by this time, but mine is still on. After I'm good and taped, good and secured, that's when I start removing stuff. But I am too scared that stuff I'm going to pull, that I'm going to, when I'm pulling my hip lock out, I'm going to yank, or when I'm locking it, I'm going to yank. So I'm not even locked when I tape up. I'm taped up. And then probably a Tegaderm as well. So let's go. Let's continue.
Positive pressure cap. Well, with this, it would change my sequence with how I would clamp. Like for instance, I would flush, and then I would disconnect from this cap with my flush, and then I would clamp. You can also have negative pressure, and with those, what you would do is flush, then you would clamp, and then disconnect. So just be familiar with the type of device you're using. And we're going to secure with our dressing.
See, now she's securing. So I would have already secured. Also, and she's probably not running anything through this. This is probably not a sterile surface, and that is an intravenous line. So I understand that she is probably doing this, in a lab setting, and she may have a cleaning device that she's about to go over with. But again, I would have done this and then that.
There, and I'm going to go ahead and apply my Kuros cap just to protect the site.
No, okay, never mind. I spoke too soon.
So now we're going to secure it. I'm going
that was my bad.
With this particular dressing, you want to get familiar with your kits, what's in your kits, because everything's different.
Always get familiar with your kits.
Take this part off like so, and I'm going to hold it at this end. And it has a notched area.
I've never used one of these.
I want this part to lay on the top of the cap where before it goes into the access, the extension set. So I'm just going to...
Oh, I like that. I like that bandage, that Tegaderm.
I'm going to apply some firm pressure just to get it down on the skin.
Okay, that's a cool Tegaderm. I like that. Never seen one of those.
So I'm...
Maybe I have. I don't know. I've never seen one of those.
Touching it. Then what I want to do is I want to slightly compress these sides, and I'm going to just lift this tubing up just a little bit because I want those notch parts to get underneath that.
For security
part
purposes,
of
yes.
The ivy. So I'm pressing everything down, making sure it's nice and secure.
I like it. I like
Then
it.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear off these edges around the ivy.
Yes.
This
Be
part
careful
right
with
here.
this, especially with your gloves on. Her gloves look too big for her hands.
Edges.
You can tell by the ends of her fingers.
And then as you're doing that, just push it down. Make sure it sticks
Looks
to the
good.
skin.
Looks
You don't want to
good.
lose
Looks
your ivy
good. I like that.
after
No, you
have
do not want to use
started
your
it.
IV.
Then what I want to do is I want to take this part of the tape, this big piece, and I'm going to lay it across this part.
Ah, so she is doing
So
the
it
butterfly
just
method, just
provides
a different
extra
way.
securement.
Yeah,
So
okay.
we have
All
that
right.
there. I'm applying pressure like that. I'm just sealing it down.
Let's see if
Nice
she
and sealed.
uses this label here. She probably
Then
will.
with this particular extension tubing, remember the letter J, okay? Because that's how you want to secure it down. We don't want this flopping everywhere. That's going to put tension on the ivy line, causing possibly the ivy to slip
No,
out.
no, you don't
And
want
we want
that.
to protect it. And then there's this other piece of tape that you will use to secure the tail of the IV. So I've already went ahead and filled it out. I've put the insertion date here, put whatever date your facility requires you to put. So I'm going to peel that off, and I'm going to put this up again in the J shape. And I'm going to lay that there, and I'm going to just take this piece of tape and just slide it.
Typically, they want you to do it
This
every,
part.
what, 3 days? 2 to 3 days. So that's why you
Make sure
label
you
those things
smooth
like
the
she
edges
did.
down so that it's
Great job. Great stick.
And that will
Good
just
job.
help protect that site from falling out and just keep it more secure. We'll
And it
dispose
is
of
now
it.
probably after I've already done all the securing and then removed the 10cc syringe that I have taken the tourniquet off. Like, I've left it on there for a long time, which a patient
In
may or
the
may not be upset at me at
receptacle
that moment in
area, That
time.
your facility requires you to dispose these types of things. in.
Sharps.
Remove our gloves.
A lot of that goes into
perform
sharps.
hand
Remove your gloves.
hygiene,
Yes,
and
yes, yes,
document.
yes.
Okay, so that wraps
Absolutely.
up this video. And if you would like to watch more videos on nursing skills, you can access the link in the YouTube description below.
Phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. That's how it's done. I mean, she did great. That is how it goes. In any case, that is today's live stream. I see I got no questions, which is okay. I am, like I said, worried about how this one will go. I'm really hoping to not get a strike on this one. I hope I don't get a strike on this one, but we'll find out later today. Hope it helps. Thank you guys so much. Hopefully we'll do another live stream sometime soon. Thank you much.